Most of the Republicans are turning their attention to South Carolina.
And on that list is Congressman Ron Paul. This morning we are getting a chance to speak with him live. Good morning.
Good morning.
So where are you today?
I'm in South Carolina, Columbia.
You got a big endorsement from the University of South Carolina. Their student newspaper, the Gamecock, has endorsed you as their candidate. What does the support of the young voters mean for your campaign?
Well, it means there's a great future in this country, and there's a great future for freedom because the young people are rallying to our cry. We're not sure exactly what we can accomplish in this primary as far as political victories go, but there's a real victory for the cause of liberty because the young people are flocking to us, and this endorsement, I think, tells us that. Because they have a lot at stake. I mean, I think these previous generations, including my own, have not done well in taking care of our economy and taking care of our dollar and having a decent foreign policy. And the young people realize it, they know it, and they're rallying to the cry that we should have more freedom and follow the Constitution, have sound money, and start bringing our troops home. So this is what they're interested in, and that's why we're getting this tremendous enthusiasm, which I think is really just the beginning rather than the end of a process.
Ron, you talk about rallying to your cry. What exactly is your platform? What's the biggest thing that you want people to know about you if you're elected president?
That the purpose of government is to preserve liberty, and that freedom works, that individuals, when they're left to their own, that they'll take care of themselves, there'll be more prosperity, and that there will be more peace, because we won't be policing the world. And all we have to do is follow the Constitution. We put this together, you have a better economy, you have more peace, we have the rule of law, and we get rid of all the special interests because we won't have all the special interests running to Washington. And we're facing up to a bankruptcy, and we have to deal with that. So if they listen to this message and we do the right thing, we can end the mess that we're having, even though we have to dig our way out of it because we have to pay some of these bills that we have run up, and that is the real problem that we're facing, the real crisis in our economy today, and the health of our dollar is reflecting this crisis, and that's why we have to do something rather quickly.
Well, our dollar's dealing with a pretty serious case of the flu, given what we looked at yesterday. You know, people are talking about this concept of an economic stimulus and giving people these rebate checks to go out and spend. What's your opinion on that and what's happened in the last 24 hours?
Well, I'm not against giving tax rebates for everybody anytime and give tax cuts. But if you're giving money to certain individuals and you're running up the deficit and you're just printing this money and have another program, that won't work because they don't have any money to hand out and they'll have to print it, which makes the problem worse because it was the printing of the money in the first place that caused the bubble. So you can't treat a bubble by creating a new bubble. We did that after the NASDAQ bubble, and we had the housing bubble, but eventually the dollar bubble is what we're dealing with. So now when we try to inflate to resurrect and get these, say, the housing industry to survive, what we're doing is we're attacking the dollar. So the more of these policies of deficit financing and inflation, the harder it is on the dollar, which means higher interest rates eventually, and of course a lot more inflation and a weaker economy.
Ron, from the economy to an issue that's really kind of been surrounding you, or a cloud over your head since '96, and it resurfaced, I guess, last Friday, was some newsletters that were published, I guess, in the '90s or so, claiming that you made disparaging remarks towards African Americans. How are you responding to that, and why do you feel like you're still dealing with some of these things?
Well, it's politically directed because we've dealt with these for many years, and I've been reelected, 5 more times since that came out. Because the plain truth is, everybody in my district knew that was not written by me, and I don't endorse any of those.
But you took more responsibility for it in 2001.
Yes, I did. I have all along, and as far back as when they were first brought to the public's attention. But I was not an editor of the magazine as much as I was a publisher. I was associated with it, so I did have some responsibility for it. But the whole thing is nobody believes for a minute. Even the people writing these articles aren't accusing me of ever having said anything or anybody have ever heard me say anything like that. And they're just not believable charges. But still, it doesn't look well because of the association. But because I've taken such a strong stand against it and understand racism as well as anybody and how bad it is, that I think this thing is mostly politically motivated at this particular time. There's no doubt about that.
A quick one, switching gears. Who do you like for the Super Bowl?
We got to go, but if it can be real fast.
All right, Ron.
All right.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thanks a lot.
Maybe he's not a football fan. He is from Texas.
He's from Texas. Of course he's a football fan. You get a choice there.
His Cowboys probably got knocked out last week.
Maybe he's taking a protest vote on that.
I didn't even hear what he said at the end, did you?
I think he was saying we're out of time. We got to go.
Yeah.